Okay, so we're back. I have to cut that one video there and then start the other. So, back to my scary ex-girlfriend, part 2. So, she starts calling me and telling me that she is stuck there and has no way to get back, and how all these guys are about to attack her, and how all these people have surrounded her, and she gives me, she scares me so bad that at that point I'm like, okay, I have to go find her. I have to go get her. She tells me that there's like 20 head of people, mostly men, and that they're all, geeked up on this and on that, and that her co-worker was supposed to give her a ride home, but they swung through there so he could get him a little something. Then they were supposed to go back to her house and drop her off, and then he'd go home. But instead they went to this place, this drug-fueled area, and now she don't have a way home, and she's stuck there, and they've robbed her and all this stuff. And I'm like, look, I'm not going down there. The police catches you down there, you're in trouble. Whether you're doing anything or not, you're in trouble. So I'm not going down there. Again, she starts texting, they're going to attack me, I'm running through the woods. One's already pulled my shirt off. They stole my pocketbook. They've stole my money. They're trying to get my cell phone. And again, I've been a user, so I know when you're using, you will tell anything to get your way. I know because I've done it. You will lie. You will lie about so much just to get $20, to get a Percocet, or to get a hit, or whatever it is you're after. I knew this. But I still didn't want to chance her getting hurt because I didn't know if she was telling the truth or not. But I knew based on my GPS she was in that area, so that much was true. I just didn't know if she purposely went there with him or if she did get stuck there, because that actually happened to me one time before. Somebody was supposed to take me home and they took a detour and I got left in a bad area. So again, I understood how that could happen. I'm like, look, okay, I'm on the way, but you have to be out here on this road. I'm not going down that road. So I finally roll up at that area and I'm like texting her, hey, I'm at this area. She's like, come on down to this house, this blue house. I said, what did I tell you? No. You'll come out of this road, this main highway that's in the public, or you won't have a ride, bitch. So you better move your ass from where to other. Because I was pissed by that point. I done drove like 35 minutes after working my ass off all day, dealing with her bullshit. I'm like, you know what? You bring your ass out here or we're done. So she was like, well, give me about 15, 20. I said, nope, I'm not waiting. If you're using drugs, you stay there and use drugs. But if you're coming with me, you better come the fuck on because I'm leaving. And I was hot-headed. Again, I worked all day. Finally, after about 5 minutes of arguing, I see her and 2 guys walking down the street. They're laughing, carrying on, and she finally looks up and sees me and puts her head down and starts wiping her face, and I'm like, this bitch needs an Academy Award because she's that good. She's that fucking good. She literally goes from smiling and talking and holding her phone and all this to doing all this shit, and I'm like, man, I'm about to leave your ass here. So she gets to the car, she goes around the driver's side, and I have to unlock the doors. And these 2 think they're fixing to get in my car. They go to jerking on the back door handles. I'm like, huh, I didn't say I was giving all y'all a ride. I said I was picking her ass up. I said, you can get in the car, or you can stay here. She was like, well, I know these 2 people, and they got stuck down here too, and they rode with us, and they need a ride back home. This one stays about an hour here, and that one stays 20 minutes there. I said, well, these 2 need to call their families, or whoever, because I don't know them. They could have been setting me up. Yes, that's happened too. I've been set up and got robbed. I've been there, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, I've been there. Especially when you have addict friends or family, you've been down those roads and your ass is about either almost got robbed or you've gotten robbed, or worse. And I told her, you coming, you coming. If not, you staying. So she gets in the car and she's like huffing and puffing and, well, I promised them that I was going to give them a ride. I said, well, you shouldn't make promises that your ass can't keep. You don't have a fucking car. So don't be promising rides out in my damn car. I was shitting, y'all. I was shitting. And we started fighting. I said, I don't know who you think you are or who you think you're playing, but I'm not the one. I used to do this shit. I know the fucking game. But you're not going to try to pull the wool over my face and make me feel stupid or crazy because I'm not. So, of course, I drop her off at her little hotel room, and I'm like, what do you do for a living? Go ahead and get it all out on the table. What drugs have you done today, or you just be done with me? You tell me the truth about everything, or you just be done with me, because I'm done with this shit. She's like, okay, let's sit down. And she starts telling me all this long story, reeling me back in about how she was, abused and all, and just like I was, basically gives me my same story back to me, but with her name, basically. I'm like, okay, that sounds familiar, but I believe it because I ain't the only one that's been through this stuff. She's like, I really need help, and I got to file a police report because I don't have my subs, and no, excuse me. She said they stole my Suboxone. I said, well, we need to go file a police report because your doctor maybe will write you another prescription. If you got to file your police report though, you'll have to tell the truth about what you did. She didn't want to do that. But she claimed they were stolen, right? But she didn't want to go file a report and all that. I said, you got an appointment tomorrow with your therapist, right? You're going to get drug tested tomorrow, right? What? I thought I only get drug tested when I got my medicine. No. This is a sobriety program. You get drug tested whenever they want. That's the point of you staying clean. Well, I can't pass that. I said, why is that? You're supposed to be taking the Suboxone. Well, I was doing coke earlier. I said, really? That's why you went down there. No, I went down there with him, but I got triggered because they were doing it. I said, you know what? Where's your subs? They stole them. I said, stop lying to me. I'm fixing to be done with you. Like, done. Zero. Stop lying. She goes to tell me that when she left, and she didn't have a job, by the way. No, she was hanging out with her buddy, slinging, DOPE all day, basically. And I said, so this whole time I've been picking you up from these stores and hotels. You don't work there? No, but I didn't want to tell you because I knew I was lying and you'd be mad. I said, I would have understood better had you told me in the beginning. Or even a week ago. But now that this has happened and you're telling me, now I don't trust you or believe you. If you told me yesterday, I would have believed you better. I can't do this right on. So I got in my car and I left. I told her, don't text me, don't call me, don't bother me. Time I leave, she's texting me, I don't have anything, I'm withdrawing. Next hour, I'm withdrawing, I need something. I said, that's all you're worried about. Getting your fix. I helped you. You ruined it. I did all I could do for you. You didn't accept the help, you didn't appreciate it, you messed up. Everybody messes up, but you can only mess up so much before I'm done. Then she starts texting me the whole, I'm going to hurt myself if you don't come here right now. Sending me pictures of blades and stuff. And I'm like, how do I meet these people? Look, because she wasn't the kind of person who'd really do it. She would just threaten you with it to get you to do what she wanted. To get you to come back running to her. And what did I do? I came back running. And as I walked in her room, she was sitting there with a pizza and carrying on. She was fine. I said, well, now that I see that you're okay, I'm going to go back home. I'm glad you're okay. No, don't leave. I need you, I love you. I'm like, I don't think you know what love is, but okay. And she says, I'm going to do better. I'm going to start trying, I'm going to do better. I said, look, with me, you've got to prove with your actions. You can run your mouth all day. But your words, that's not going to prove nothing for me. I done been through too many of these relationships. Show me. We'll try it again, but show me. I promise you starting tomorrow, I'm going to tell my therapist everything. I'm going to get back on the program. I said, they liable to cut you. I don't know. They might cut you off. We go to the therapist. We both sit down. I tell him what happened, how she was tempted. He actually rewrites her medicine. Believe it or not, he does. He was that nice of a doctor. I couldn't believe the luck this person had. He believed her. Here I am sitting here vouching that she, this happened, and how she got tempted and used, and they robbed her and all this stuff. And when we leave, as we're leaving the psychiatrist's office, we get in the car and we're on the way to the pharmacy because she's withdrawing bad. And she's not withdrawing from the Suboxone. She's withdrawing from the coke and the methadone and all the stuff she'd been using days prior. And I found out from her drug test she hadn't been taking the Suboxone. Well, as we get in the car, I ask her, How long? Why aren't you taking your Suboxone? That's the whole reason I brought you here, is to get you on this program so you could try to get clean. If you didn't want to do the program, all you had to do was say so. But I'm not going to sit here and watch you sell the stuff and you not help yourself. I'm not going to do that. You're going to get on the program, or you're going to get off, whatever you're going to do, but I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm done babying you. And she was like, no, I'm going to start, as soon as we get them, I'm going to take, you're going to see me get on the program and I'm going to do good. We go to the pharmacy, we get them filled. They give her the orange stop sign tablets. We get to the car, she takes one out, breaks it in half, puts it under her tongue, and I seen something. Another bottle. I said, what is that? What is that? That better not be Adipax. What is that? She said, no, that's my other bottle of Suboxone. I said, you lied? You lied to your therapist, and he wrote you another prescription. It's people like you of why other people can't get help. Because of people like you doing this crap. And he believed you. He rewrote you. Now you've got... So you didn't get robbed. Your subs did not get robbed. These people didn't rob you. All that was a lie too. You just went down there to get high, basically. And tried to trade out subs for dope. I said, why are you such a liar? Why do you have to be such a liar and continue lying? And she was like, starting right now, I'm going to tell you the truth. How many times are you going to tell me that? Starting right now. Starting right now. Starting right now. You're going to tell me the truth. How about starting a week ago? Jeez. This shit was so stressful. I said, well, now you have, like, we counted them out. She had like 100 and, like a little over 100. She had enough to get her stay straight for a while. Next night went fine. You know, I didn't have to work, so we were able to stay home, do what we needed to do, take care. You know, she come to my house, we cleaned the house up. Wish I'd never brought her to my house, but she played me really well. We cooked supper, had a good time for about 2 or 3 days, and then I took a day off work, so I had about 3 days to spend with her, helping her stay straight, and going to NA classes together and AA classes. And the 4th day, I had to go back to work. So I'm getting my stuff together, and she's doing so good. And looks better. Feels better. She's up, laughing, talking, carrying on. And she's like, I hope you have a good day at work. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'll see you. You know, it'll be like maybe 4 or 5 hours. I'll be done. I'll be back home. I said, you know, keep the doors locked. Don't let nobody in. Don't bring nobody over. Because this is my house. This is not the hotel. Don't have nobody over here. Big mistake. Big mistake. I go to work. About maybe an hour into me working, I get a phone call from my landlord. My landlord says, I don't know what the y'all are doing over there, but you need to come see me. I'm like, I'm at work. What are you talking about? He was like, you have about 15 cars in your driveway. Y'all, I stayed in a little trailer park. I had like a little 3-bedroom trailer. I was in a trailer park, and this was one of these trailer parks where the landlord was very tight, very nosy. He kept up with everything. He knew when you came and you went. He knew everything. You could not play at this location. He run a tight ship. He didn't allow no partying, no loud vehicles. You couldn't even have loud pipes on your cars in this trailer park. I liked it though. It was nice and quiet. He's like, you need to come see me right now. I'm writing up your warning strike or whatever it is. I'm like, I've been here for 3 years. I've never had a strike. What do you mean? I'm not even home. He said, well, whoever's at your house has got a bunch of people up there. And I said, look, I'm on my way home. I hadn't even been at work an hour, y'all. I hadn't even been at work an hour. And already she had got me in some shit again. It was like if I didn't stay right up her ass, she would have to do something to get me there. Or to cause some kind of drama for me to have to defend her. So I'm texting and calling. She's not answering. I pull up at the house. My landlord's sitting there. You know, he's got the driveway blocked off. And several people had left. There's still like 7 cars in the yard. They're trying to leave. And he's calling the police. And because he's gotten into it with several of the people. I'm like, I've never met any of these people. I don't know who they are. I couldn't find her. I go through the house. I leave my car out on the side of the road. I'm going through my house trying to find her. Couldn't find her nowhere. Finally, I hear a noise from the backyard, and I look back there, and she's out there with like 3 or 4 people, and they're doing stuff. And I just stood there, and I was like, I just can't do this anymore. I just can't do this anymore. They were doing LINES on my back patio table. Even with the landlord out front, all these cars out front. She had people coming to buy her stuff, her subs, from my house. The time I left to go to work, she started calling people so she could get the money and buy her fairy dust. And I just stood there, and I opened up the back door. I said, you need to get your stuff. You need to go. Law's on the way. You called the law? I said, no, the landlord's sitting out front. He called me. I'm not a kid. I don't live this way. You know, I'm respectable. I'm responsible. Nowadays, and I don't live like this, so you got to go. You probably got me kicked out. Well, if you're kicked out, I'll kick his out. I said, no, you're not going to say nothing to him. That man's been good to me. That landlord has been nothing but kind to me. Gave me somewhere to stay, told me the rules. I followed the rules. You broke the rules. And that was my fault for allowing you to be here. Now I know better. She throws her hissy fit. He can't do this. I said, just go. I don't have a way to go. I said, out of all 7 of these cars that you've called here to sell your stuff, you can find somebody to ride with. I'm not taking you no damn where. Get your stuff together and go. Get every bit of it. She gets it. She goes. The law never came. Landlord didn't call the law. Landlord's sitting there talking to me when everybody leaves, and he says, look, Lily, I know you love her, but you're slowly getting drugged down with her. She's not doing better. She's not choosing to try to do better. She's getting worse. And she's pulling you down with her. And I made excuses. I loved it. He said, love is not going to save you. You're strong, but you can't change her. She has to change herself. I said, you know what? I've heard that before. Somebody actually said that to me one time when I was doing dumb stuff. They looked me right in my eyes and they said, nobody can change you but you. You're the only one that can save yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. And I thought about that for a minute. I said, yeah, you know what? You're right. And as me and him's talking, she's texting me. Oh, well, you're fucking your landlord and this and that. I'm like, you did this. But of course, somebody in where she was at the moment is going to make any excuse in the book to reel you back in and to get you back down that road again. And I said, look, just because you don't want to get help and you don't want to do right and do better, that don't mean I want to be that way. I want to do better. I am going to do better. And you're not going to drag me down anymore. I'm done. She made her threats, her stuff like she always did. Then about an hour or 2 goes by. I don't hear nothing. I don't bother her. I go back to work. My landlord stays at the trailer park to keep an eye out on our house. He doesn't write me a strike or a warning. He watches the house, and then he calls me and he says, somebody keeps riding back and forth, and it's got like something on the car. I'm pretty sure it's the same people. I said, oh hell, here we go, because now they know where I stay. So they're gonna try to mess with me now. And she kept quiet. Well, I got off work, come back it's probably 7 o'clock when I got home. I'm unloading groceries, I'm fixing to clean the house, wash my sheets. I'm trying to stay busy to keep her off my brain. Because if y'all know, like I know, when you get with somebody like this, they get embedded in your brain. Because when it's good, it's so good. But when it's bad, it's horrible. And the bad outweighs the good. But the good was just stuck in my head. All I could think about was like those days that we had together where everything was perfect. Why couldn't she just be that person and let's be happy? But I was like, no, I'm not going to text or call her. I'm not going to. So about 9 o'clock that night rolls around. I'm getting my sheets out the dryer. I'm fixing to settle down. I'm watching like Rock of Love or something on VH1, and I hear something outside. I'm like, I just heard something. I get a text. She's like, are you up? I said, don't text or call me. With the phone that I had, I couldn't block her number. All I could do was just tell her, don't text or call me. And she was like, I have to see you, I have to talk to you, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. And I said, look, leave me alone. I'm done with all this drama. You have stressed me out to the point that I feel like I may have to go to the hospital. My chest was so tight from screaming, yelling, arguing, my heart racing, like I was just stressed so bad. I said, I can't do this anymore with you. These past couple months, the good times were good, but the bad times were horrible, and I can't do it anymore. I almost lost my house. I've almost lost my job. I can't. She starts making more threats. I'm like, go on. Cindy, go on. Go find somebody else to mess with. You got money. You got your stuff. Go do your thing. So a whole day, all that night goes by. The car doesn't come back through. The next morning, I'm off work, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm crying because I'm lonely and sad, and just, my cousin comes over to talk to me, and she's like, look, things will get better. You'll find somebody. You'll find somebody. Just give it time and quit rushing it. The more you rush it, the more of these people you're going to get. Just stop it. Quit looking. And the right person will come along. I'm like, okay. As we're sitting there talking, my phone starts blowing up. It's Cindy. And Cindy's pissed. What bitch do you got in the house with you? Who are you with? I'm like, that's none of your business. We're done. Whoever's in my house, that's my business. This is none of your business. Stay away. Of course, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes. And I said, how would you know somebody's at my house anyways? Because she had been riding by stalking my house all morning. I'll be there in 10 minutes, blah, blah. I said, you get here, you're going to tote an ass whooping. You don't want to mess with my cousin. My cousin she's not the one that's going to try to talk you down and enable you like I was doing and try to help you. My cousin's the one that when you step to her, she's going to slap the fuck out of you and not say nothing, because that's how she was. I don't care, I ain't scared of her, blah, blah, blah. So she finally rolled up, and my cousin got up off the couch, walked to the door, and Cindy walked up, and she was, hey, I never got to meet you before, and put on a whole front. I said, you need to leave. Before I call police, you need to leave. She gets mad, starts crying, starts throwing her phone down and pulling her hair and slapping herself, and because she knew those things prior had worked on me. I would grab her hand and tell her don't hit yourself. I do love you and blah, blah, blah. Because that stuff worked before. Now it didn't. And the more it didn't work, the more angry she got. I told her, I'm going to file a restraining order. Go. I'm not playing these games with you no more. This has been months of this shit. I'm so tired of it. My neighbors is coming outside. They're going to call the landlord again. That's all I could think was, she's going to get me kicked out. My cousin grabs her, pushes her out, goes to the car, tells the guy that brought her, take her back wherever you got her from. We're calling the police. He takes her, they go. My cousin was like, hey, I'll stay the night with you tonight. We'll make sure nothing happens. I said, you ain't got to do that, but thank you. So she stays. Every time we turned around, there was something going on. And because my house was out front, right on the freaking highway, if you drove by, you could see my house like within 20, 30 feet. You could be right there at my house at the front of it. This girl made my life a living hell. For so long after that, she would go on on websites or like Facebook or whatever and be like, oh, I'm with her and we're adopting a baby. And I'm like, I haven't even seen this girl in months. I haven't even met her family. I literally have never met her family. Finally, one day, she keeps on Facebook to the point where I'm so aggravated, I've blocked her on like probably 20 pages she keeps creating one after another. And my cousin was like, hey, I got an idea. Why don't we look at her friends list unblock her on all those pages, and let's see her friends list. So I unblocked the very first page that we met on, and guess what? She had a friends list and she had family. So I was able to contact them. Each one that I contacted, from her mama, her daddy, her sister, her cousins, her friend, all of them that was on there, every single one of them I talked to, all told me that that this didn't just start, that she had been doing this, that she gaslights, manipulates anybody she gets with. She mooches off of them. She doesn't have a job. She will not change. This has been going on for years. And I said, well, what about her kids? He was like, what kids? She don't have no kids. I said, we went and bought toys, like $300 worth of toys at, like Sam's, Walmart, We bought clothes at belts. Like, we bought stuff for her kids for Christmas. And he said, she doesn't have kids. I don't know where y'all took that stuff to, but she don't have kids. And I finally texted her. I was like, you don't have kids? What did you do with all this stuff on those holidays? And she was like, well, I'll just tell you the truth. I took it back and got the money back. I was like, you got my money back? You took the stuff back with the receipt that I paid for and you got the money. Okay. Well, this girl manipulated me, even right to my own face. And when it, like I said, when it was good, it was so good. She would lay there and put her hand right here, and I've never loved anyone the way I love you. And then 5 seconds later, turn around and be like, well, I'm going to go to the store. And then be gone for 2 hours. And then come back with hickeys on her neck. And then tell me I'm crazy. Excuse me. Oh, well, I got in a fight at the store. And, like, this girl, like, grabbed a hold of my neck. And that's where I got the blood marks from. And I'm like, Cindy... just tell the truth. If you went to see someone else, just tell me. Believe it or not, I'd be fine with it. If you would just tell the truth for once. But you can't. But she was that person that she would lie, and do dirty stuff behind your back and steal your stuff, and it just broke me, man. And when I finally cut it off, she went crazy. I had to get it, like, I had to have family stay with me. And it hurt me too because I loved her so much. I loved that good side of her, that giving side. And I even found out that one of the times that she had given money to, like, one of the homeless people that we had seen, she had actually walked back and got the money back from them. I didn't know that till later on, though, when somebody told me. But there was just so many things, like, that I overlooked or that I forgave her for. But me, I couldn't slip up. I couldn't slip up once. I had a girl friend me on Facebook, and she blacked my eye because this girl friended me, and I accepted it. I couldn't step out of line, nothing. But she could do all that and wasn't supposed to have to answer to it, you know? And I didn't interrogate her. I didn't stalk her, and I didn't cling to her. I didn't do those things. And relationships like that, don't hang on to people like that. They're not gonna, you can't change them. Only they can change themselves, but you can't change them. And I'm here to tell you, you'll end up getting hurt. You'll lose everything. You'll lose your kids. You'll lose everything you've worked for if you hang on to people like that. And all they're going to do is fuck you over in the end. They're going to fuck you over every day anyways. And make you feel like you're crazy. Like she did me. Every time. Just like when I seen her, she come back from the store with the hickeys on her neck 2 hours later. And I would be like, they're hickeys. Just admit it. You're crazy. You're seeing, that ain't even purple. That's actually like bluish, and that's where she grabbed my neck. And I'm like, it's a hickey. It's red with red and purple blood marks. I put one on the other side of your neck, and it looks identical. It's a hickey. But she would stand me down that I'm wrong, and that wasn't a hickey, and that's where the girl grabbed her, and that I didn't even put the hickey there, that's where the girl grabbed her. And I'm like, Cindy, I put the hickey there literally yesterday. I seen it when I did it, or you, ugh. But she would try to make me feel crazy. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes she'd come in after I'd been at work all day, and like she would, like, say, you know, eat the last piece of pizza, and when I'd get out the shower, she would come accuse me of eating the last piece of pizza and start a full-blown fight over that piece of pizza. And I'm like, I didn't eat it. I've been in the shower. It was on the bar. You're a GD liar. You're this, you're that. I'm like, Cindy, I know what I ate, and I didn't eat that. She would buy like a lot of Pepsi and then not drink it. And then if you wanted to drink one, she'd get mad because they were hers. But they would go sit in the refrigerator and go flat. But nobody else could have them. But she would put her hands on your stuff, eat and drink your stuff every day, but you weren't supposed to say nothing. She could wear your clothes every day, but you weren't supposed to say nothing. But if you wore her dress or her jeans, there's just so much I could get into. If she wanted to lay in the bed all day, it was fine. If she wanted to go to town and you didn't feel like going to town, oh, you're lazy. If we went to go see movies and she didn't want to see what I wanted to see, I'm just being hard and difficult. I don't know. Watch out for those people, guys. Thanks for watching.